So now, what is PHP? PHP is an acronym for PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. PHP is a server-side language that allows you to provide extra functionality on your website. PHP files have the extension PHP. These files can contain text, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP code, which are executed on the server such as Apache, IIS, etc. on various operating systems like Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, and back to the browser as an HTML. So now, how PHP works, or by another, how the request-response cycle in PHP are working. I will start by supposing we have our browser and we have a web server. Our browser requests the web server when you type in the domain of the site. It sends requests to the web server. On that web server, there we have an HTTP server called Apache. Apache sees the request and then goes to the file system and look for a PHP file. Then Apache grabs that file and then see if maybe that file needs PHP processing. So it goes to process the PHP. It may need to go back and forth to the database to request some information from it. Once it is done processing the PHP, there is one final step where it generates HTML that is sent back to the browser, and that is the response that the user is looking for. This slide displays a simple PHP script embedded inside the body tag section on an index.php page. That PHP code starts with the PHP opening tag, some contents, and the closing PHP tag. Please don't worry, I will talk about PHP syntax in more detail next soon, but now I want to show you how the PHP page looks like after it is displaying on the browser. As you can see, the PHP processing output only phrase hello world and doesn't display any part of PHP code. And that is because that file has extension PHP, and that allows Apache Web Server to recognize it. Also, on the base source there, you can see that PHP code doesn't exist. Only hello world phrase inside the body tag section. Okay, now if you are trying to change the extension of that file from .php to .html, when displaying this web page on the browser, it will not display anything. I didn't get the result of that PHP code. And the reason is the Apache server couldn't recognize that file, and therefore PHP processing does not work. Also, if you look at the source page, you can see that it just outputs the code itself. It didn't do any PHP processing on it. So why is that? And why didn't it process it? That is because the file ends with .html, not PHP. So every web page must contain PHP code, ends with PHP extension. Now that we have the fundamentals of how to use PHP tags to embed PHP code into our document, and it is time to talk about PHP syntax.